All right, I've arrived here in southeast Iowa. I'm just getting my camper set up, and I talked to John on the phone. He's on his way over here. I'm at his house. He's got too much going on tonight. I said, oh, hey, I'll just drive around, glass some areas. That's what I typically do when I'm hunting public land. And he said, well, if you want to hunt one of my stands, I'll put you in a stand. So I'm going to get everything unhooked here and then talk to him, and we're going to hunt tonight, the first night. I left at 6 o'clock this morning. It is currently just before 3 o'clock, and might as well go get in a stand. So we'll get everything set up here and get changed as soon as he gets here, and then we'll head out this evening. And it's October 31st, and I'm hunting in southeast Iowa. It's warm today, 60, maybe 65 degrees, but I am headed to the stand. For a short hunt, because I'm getting in a little bit late, but I sent some trail cameras down here, and I got some pictures of some pretty nice bucks back in here. And this is some private land owned by the in-laws of my buddy John, and I got permission to hunt in here. So I'm gonna go get in the tree stand. It feels so good to be out hunting whitetails. It's been a year, and I can't wait to get in the stand. They're not very spooked. Fortunately, my wind is blowing right at them, unfortunately. Man, I just spooked a whole herd of deer out of there. My wind is blowing right down in there. Well, I'm in a tree. I'm just getting set up here. I've only got about an hour and a half until dark, but unfortunately, I spooked a bunch of deer on the way in here too. They were in the south end of this little wood lot, and the wind swirled around and blew them completely out of there. There was, I think, about maybe 8 does, 7 or 8 does. If there was any bucks with them, they didn't come out and run across the field like the does did. But anyway, this is one of John's stand, and I've got everything pretty well set up. He said he hasn't hunted it all year, and unfortunately there's not much for shooting lanes. It's really kind of grown up since he hunted it last. So I'm gonna have to, I didn't bring a saw or anything. Well, I'm gonna have to take a knife and kind of trim stuff up just a little bit so I have some shooting lanes out to the field. I got a good lane this way and one that way to my right. But anyway, it's just a very pleasant evening to be in the stand. There's no pressure on me. I wasn't even expecting to hunt tonight, so we'll see what happens, see if those does come back out in this clover to feed, and see if there's any bucks around. October 31st, tomorrow's the first day of November, so the bucks should be getting pretty spunky. All right, let's settle in and see what happens here. Sure interested in whatever's down in that other little fence row down there. He just can't stop staring down there. I should try to call him or what? That's a shooter. Even on the first day. Nice 8-pointer. He's at about 60 right now. I might actually get a shot at him. He's coming right towards me. I gotta put the camera down and get my bow. I gotta decide, am I gonna try to shoot him or am I gonna film him? It's really something to see a deer like that in the first hour of the hunt. It's a really nice 8-pointer. I definitely would have shot him. I had him broadside at about 45 to 50 yards, but I just didn't feel comfortable with the shot. It just was such a small opening. But I got about, 20 minutes of legal shooting light left here. I might try to get out a little early and get out of here without lights. He had a doe with him, and the doe was on the other side of the hill, so he kept looking at her, and I couldn't figure out what he was looking at. Well, then she came to the top of the hill, and I realized that that's what it was. He was not going to leave that doe. After I shut the camera off, I snort wheezed and grunted a couple times, at which he looked at me, but he just wasn't coming. I'm going to leave all my stuff in the stand here and just come back in the morning. And I'm going to bring a saw. So right at daylight, as soon as I can see, I am going to cut a couple of shooting lanes from the tree here. I can cut some limbs right from the tree here. And we'll try this spot again in the morning. Pretty exciting stuff. Wow. Not bad for the first couple of hours of deer hunting in Iowa. Just legal shooting time here. A little after 7. And I did a little trimming in front of me here, although I can't reach some of the stuff that's really in the way. I need a little bit longer saw. But I didn't spook any deer on the way in, which is different because yesterday I spooked deer on the way in and deer on the way out. There was a bunch of deer up on top of the hill where I had to walk, including that big 8-pointer. But they didn't spook bad. None of them snorted. And so I'm back in here this morning, and we'll see what happens through the morning here, and then make a decision during midday about what I'm going to do for the evening. I don't know if I want to hunt this stand 3 times in a row, but it sure is a lot of deer in here. And man, that buck that was in front of me last night at 40 yards, I just couldn't quite get a shot at him, but I'm going to try to get a shot today if he is in the area again. Beautiful cool morning here, 38 degrees. All right, I'm heading out for the evening hunt. As you saw this morning, I saw a couple of does and a spike buck. If you look in the distance there, you can see that there is hog confinement buildings. And if you've been watching, then you know that there is a giant buck that we got pictures of right in this area. And here, look at this. Scrape ripper. I don't know what happened there, but it's laying on the ground. So I'm gonna reset this before I go to the stand. And where I'm hunting is down that way, about 150 yards. Gosh, this thing is trashed. Oh my gosh. It is completely trashed. I think it's been run over. It's not going to work. I'm just going to pour some of the special golden estrus in the scrape. I'll just take the rest with me. Alright, I'm going to hang this trail camera. Right there. Alright, we are good to go. Alright, I'm settled in here. 350. So that's good. I got in here in good time. And so what I've got a CRP out in front of me here. I got a good mixed hardwood woodlots behind me, pretty much all around me, except that there it looks to be alfalfa in a field over on the neighbors. I can see it through the trees over there. And the deer have been coming out this corner and working their way up in through here. There's some clover in with this CRP. So we're going to settle in here, see what happens. There is a big buck in this area. Man, he's a giant. And wouldn't it be something to see him? We can only hope. Now it's just breaking down. daylight here on November 2nd. I had a change of plans because the spot that I was planning to go to this morning, it's just not good in a southeast wind, and that's what we got this morning, southeast. So I came back into this stand that I hunted last night. I saw quite a few deer last night, probably 8 or 10. So I've been seeing deer on every sit, just waiting for the right one to come along. And I just had one doe go through here, and it's just been legal shooting light here for about 5 or 7 minutes. So that's the only deer I've seen so far, but man, it's just a beautiful morning to be in the woods. We'll see what happens here for the next 3 hours or so, and then I'm going to go scout a couple other areas after I get out, probably about 10:30 this morning. I got a camera in the tree right there. The tree stand is right. Let's see if I can scrape. I'm going to put the rest of this, put the golden estrus in the scrape here just because I got a bottle of it. And I used about half of it. The idea is that the deer will stop in his scrape long enough for me to get a shot, because the scrape that's right over there right in front of the camera is blocked by this cedar tree right here. So I'm trying to position the deer right where I can shoot. Alright, let's get in the stand. Alright, let's give you a look around. That's all CRP out there. That's to the east. The wind is out of the south, and that's the south, which is the direction I'm expecting the deer to come from. They're bedding back in there. And then, now you're looking west. That's the scrape that I just anointed with fresh Bernie urine and special golden estrus. And to the north of me, where these deer are going, there's a pond where I got a camera at it, and then from there they go out into the fields to feed. Okay. Look, this ain't Hollywood. So this is my third evening hunting. I've hunted 2 mornings and 3 evenings, and the first 2 mornings and evenings I've seen deer. From every one of them. I've seen shooter bucks on all but one. That first evening had a really close call with that tremendously nice buck that I would love to shoot, but it wasn't meant to be, and I will probably go back to that spot. I'm letting it rest right now, but I'll probably go back to that spot if I don't kill a buck in the next couple days. Now today I went out scouting some new areas. I got a stand, it's John's stand, in a cedar tree that I'm going to hunt in the morning if I don't kill a buck tonight. And then I decided to walk down to check out another stand he was telling me about. And when I got about halfway down there, I looked up and there's several bucks in this little opening right in front of the stand, and they are just walking around, kind of posturing a little bit, working a scrape. And they're all 3 rack bucks. One of them looked pretty mature. He's a pretty heavy-bodied deer. I was just going to go check where the stand was and put a pin on it just so I could find it in the dark, and dang it, I didn't take a binoculars or video camera or anything. All I took was my phone, and so I tried to video some with my phone. It's not very good video, but you can actually see all 3 bucks. So anyway, that's the area that I'm going to be hunting in the morning. So this, if I don't shoot a deer tonight, this is going to be the end of vlog number 2. And then I'll start up vlog number 3 with the remainder of this evening, and then in the morning. A lot going on. I'm seeing a lot of deer. It's 78 degrees according to my truck. That's pretty unfortunate that the weather's like this, but fortunately we got a good breeze to help keep things cool. If I have to shoot at that scrape right there, I'm gonna have to shoot sitting down because of this branch right here, and I'm not gonna cut it at the moment. Okay, deer could be coming, so we'll see you on the next vlog. Stay tuned for it.